The MP was legally obliged to declare what's termed a pecuniary interest in the cafe because of the nature of her financial involvement with Kirk McCambley. We've checked to see if she did, but have found no mention of any declaration. There isn't one. The laws covering local government make it plain that once Iris Robinson had a financial or pecuniary interest in the cafe, she was obliged to declare it at any meeting she attended where it was being considered. In fact, Iris Robinson broke a whole cluster of other rules in the councillor's code of conduct, as many as 5 elements of the code. While business boomed at the cafe that autumn of 2008, the relationship between Iris Robinson and the man almost 40 years her junior ran aground. It ended with acrimony on her part, as she told Selwyn Black.
It seems cruel, but I am not going to soften until he has paid back the 45,000, and he has got until Christmas.
Now that the relationship was over, Iris Robinson decided she wanted the money paid back. But did money suddenly become an issue?
Yes, it did indeed.
The pair would meet only a handful of more times. A text in December 2008 announced the formal end.
Just cut links with Kirk. God's word was very clear on it. He is reasonably okay. I am not.
Another text from the same period spells out her feelings.
Everything is a reminder wherever I go. My home, my church, my car, my music, and of course the roads we drove.
Iris Robinson and Kirk McCambley did see each other one last time at a meeting organised by Selwyn Black. This meeting to discuss their financial and emotional breakup took place on December 18th, 2008, on the top floor of this building off the Lisburn Road in Belfast. Just 3 people were present: Iris Robinson, Kirk McCambley and Selwyn Black.
It was just to iron out and get everything sorted, and so we knew where we all stood and what the plan of action was for paying back the money.
It was a very tense meeting. Kirk was sitting to my right at a boardroom table. Iris was sitting to my left. I had an increasing sense that this relationship was much more than I had ever construed, and that it had huge consequences for all concerned. And it wasn't until some time later that I understood, first of all, who the donors were, the significance of who the donors were, and the implications for that money in personal terms.
Spotlight can reveal the names of those 2 donors, who between them gave £50,000 to Iris Robinson. The first was Fred Fraser, now deceased, for many years the biggest name in house building in Northern Ireland, particularly in Castlereagh, where he turned huge swathes of green into bricks and mortar. The 79-year-old died in August 2008, just weeks after he'd written out a cheque for £25,000 at Iris Robinson's request. The other contributor was this man, Ken Campbell, a well-known property developer. How was she able to approach 2 people and just ask for £25,000 from each of them to help some young guy in business?
So 25,000 in some senses would have seemed like nothing to them. It might have been seen as social responsibility. Maybe she was playing on that agenda in procuring that money.
Whatever their motivation had been in giving the MP the money, Iris Robinson was now desperate to retrieve it from Kirk McCambley, and she had a plan. Kirk McCambley was to pay back the remaining £45,000 from the money she'd given him. She wanted 2 cheques, the first made out to the name of Iris Robinson, the second in the name of the Light and Life Church in Dundonald. That's Iris Robinson's own church, whose pastor happens to be Peter Robinson's sister. And Iris Robinson was also hoping to use at least £20,000 to pay off her own debts. The first cheque was due on Christmas Eve 2008, when she sent this text to Selwyn Black.
I need the cheque made out, not in the name of the church, but to my name. Kirk needs to know this is now clearing my debts, run up in helping him. The second one will be for 25,000 for the church. This will need to be made clear.
Selwyn Black, who was supposed to be working as her political advisor, paid for from the public purse, spent that Christmas Eve toing and froing between Iris Robinson and Kirk McCambley, trying to sort out the repayment of this money, but without success. Kirk McCambley was planning to raise the money by selling off a half share of the cafe to a friend for £40,000, but this was taking longer than anticipated. Iris Robinson would have an anxious wait for news in her family's apartment near Orlando, Florida, where the first couple spent that new year. From there, she forwarded her bank details and repeated the instruction that the monies should be split 2 ways.
25,000 Light and Life Free Methodist Church Dundonald and other to me.
By this stage, Selwyn Black was very concerned about the involvement of the church in her finances. "Where is God in all of this?" he texted. Iris Robinson sent a text back from America and revealed the basis on which she had received the money from her developer friends.
This is just to allay any concerns. Money given to me and the promise of paying back one of them. The other didn't have the same condition placed on it. When given to Kirk, he wept and wanted to share 50-50. I said no, I wanted nothing. At that particular time, he was a young man. I wanted to help because Billy couldn't.
That's his father.
That's his father, and had so much wanted to. I agreed that 1/3 of the profit each month to go to the church as a gesture of giving something back. I never intended this to be a buy-off to God. It was an honest and honourable decision. I will be paying back all the monies to contributor A, who I now understand is Ken Campbell. Contributor B is now deceased.
That's Fred Fraser.
That's Fred Fraser, and was not to be paid back. I had intended to release 1,000 per month to church, as well as using it to clear the massive debt incurred by me over past year.
This extraordinary text established that Iris Robinson regarded the money as a gift to her. It was her money. Until the relationship with Kirk McCambley broke down, she wanted him to have it. After the breakdown, she decided she wanted it back. But there's a problem here for Iris Robinson. She was legally obliged to declare the £50,000 she'd received from the two developers, whether it came as a loan or a gift. We have checked Iris Robinson's declarations of interest. You can do this online for the Assembly and for Parliament, and there is no sign of any such declaration. She has failed to declare the money. In taking this money, Iris Robinson damages her ability to be seen to be able to do her job in a fair and impartial manner. This is about the integrity and transparency of the democratic system. In fact, Iris Robinson went out of her way to use her influence to help Ken Campbell that very summer. We have proof that she lobbied on behalf of one of the developers' building schemes in Newton Ards, even as she was looking for £25,000 from him. This is a copy of one letter she sent that summer, on Westminster-headed paper.